What is up, guys? Welcome to another video on my channel, Hairliciously. If you guys are new, please make sure to subscribe so that you guys are updated on my second hair transplant journey progress, as well as video topics covering current hair loss treatments. Visit my website at hairliciously.com to purchase your microneedling devices, which are scientifically proven to stimulate hair growth. My low-level lace therapy cap, hair growth vitamins, de-age shampoo and serum, and a few other products for those who are suffering from hair loss. Now, if you guys are also interested in getting a complimentary consultation from the clinic that I went to get my hair transplant, you can reach directly to Motion Clinic and get a free estimate on the number of grafts that you guys are going to need, as well as designing the hairline. I'm going to have all of their contact information in the description box below for those who are interested. So today's video topic, once again, is going to be about microneedling. As you guys are already aware, I am a pretty strong advocate when it comes to promoting wound healing for the treatment of hair loss. I think that it's a great tool to really incorporate into your hair loss regimen because there's plenty of studies that show microneedling's efficacy in promoting hair growth. There's a lot of people who's been using it who had positive results. We also know that microneedling helps release growth factors through the wound regeneration mechanism, as well as overexpression of hair growth genes. The closest thing that we currently have undergoing FDA clinical trials is Follica, who is actually expected to launch their lead program into phase 3. Their last clinical trial showed a significant 44% improvement over baseline in visible hair count after just 3 months of treatment, in addition to using a proprietary topical solution. So we have a lot of things to look forward to, and really excited to see how much further hair growth microneedling can really stimulate. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys some more before and after photos of users who incorporated microneedling into their hair loss treatment regimen and were actually able to regrow a decent amount of hair. This first guy we have is somebody who responded extremely well to just microneedling and Minoxidil. He goes by username Soproc, and he shares with us his 7-month progress. Note that he is not actually using finasteride into his hair loss treatment regimen. So he's been on Minoxidil 5% twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, and then he uses a 1mm derma roller once a week. He rolls for about 20 to 30 minutes per session. He also states that he's been very consistent with his treatment. This is a photo of him in April 2020 before starting his treatment. You can obviously see some pretty advanced diffused hair loss on the hairline and mid-scalp, and without any treatment intervention, I'm pretty sure that this guy would be well on his way to a Nord 6+. This is a photo of him with a shaved head right before treatment, and then this is him in September 2020, just 5 months after treatment, and he shaved his head once more to show us his incredible hair growth. I just think that it's really amazing just how well he's responded to just Minoxidil and microneedling, and you guys can clearly see his hairline again, and literally every bald region he previously had has actually been filled with hair. This is from December 2020, and honestly speaking, this is, I think, one of the best results that I've seen. He is what I would classify as a hyper responder, and it's even more crazy that he's actually not on finasteride. He really hasn't mentioned why he's not on finasteride, but I'm guessing it's most likely due to the potential side effects like a lot of people are concerned with. But if he were to throw in a anti-androgen to his hair loss treatment regimen, you know, finasteride, dutasteride, RU, I think that he would do very well in maintaining his hair and also minimizing the effects of scalp DHT. Overall, great responder, and I'm really excited for this guy and hopes that he actually sees more improvement. Now, this next guy that I want to share with you is one of my subscribers and actually one of my customers who had purchased a Dr. Pen A6 from me, and he's been actually using it once a week at 1.5mm in addition to Minoxidil 5% twice a day, and also 1mg of finasteride daily. This first photo shows moderate hair loss to the hairline, the mid-scalp, and the vertex region. There's a lot of diffuse thinning going on, and it'll be a matter of time before he'll actually end up with a Nord 7 type of hair. And after a few months of said treatment, you can see some pretty significant improvement in terms of density and hair growth. He did grow out his hair a little bit, but it's actually a no-brainer to see that a lot of the prior bald spots have thickened up, especially that mid-scalp and the hairline and temples, as well as the vertex that filled in pretty well. Now, he also stated that he started to notice his gains slowing down after stopping using the Dr. Pen, and a lot of people using microneedling, they actually contribute a good chunk of their hair growth thanks to wounding. He did have to stop using the Dr. Pen because it actually broke, but I sent him a replacement, and hopefully he's going to be able to continue his success in achieving good density and hair growth. And I think it's just amazing just how well he responded to treatment, and I would highly encourage and recommend anyone looking to start a hair loss treatment regimen to use finasteride, Minoxidil, and microneedling at the very bare minimum. Now, next up is another guy from Reddit's Trestless page who goes by the username MyHairJourney, who was actually on minoxidil, finasteride, nizoral shampoo, and microneedling to stimulate hair growth. I would also classify this guy as a pretty good responder for just 6 months of treatment, only because his results were drastic enough to fill in his once thin hairline and temples. The top photo was before treatment and the bottom is about after 6 months of treatment, and you guys can immediately see how much the hairline and temples have filled in, and it's just amazing to see just how much density and new hair growth there is. And he's at the point where it doesn't even look like he's thinning and balding. He states that when he does microneedle, he just adds a little bit of pressure, just enough to not cause any blood. But he didn't specify the needle length, so I would have to assume that he was most likely using a 1.5 millimeter needle length. The other thing that I also wanted to mention is that sometimes it's difficult to exactly pinpoint the exact medication or treatment that is helping stimulate hair growth, especially if you're combining with a bunch of stuff. I will, however, say that a lot of people who incorporated microneedling has seen a big difference to their hair, and this emphasizes the importance of, once again, combining multiple treatments that work in different mechanisms of action to target hair loss. That's why you see a lot of people who see a lot of success that just stack on these different treatments like finasteride, minoxidil, microneedling, laser therapy, and other forms of treatment to target hair loss in as many angles as possible. Now, this next guy is 23 years old and he goes by username Fozzie5 on Trestless, and he shares with us his 6-month hairline results after being on dutasteride and microneedling. So from the photo on the left, you can see some pretty deep thinning on his temporal region, and then 6 months later, the photo on the right shows his complete reversal of hair loss, and it's actually looking thicker and denser with absolutely no signs of recession. I think that it's pretty crazy to see just how well he responded and how he was actually able to reverse his hairline recession with just dutasteride and microneedling, because the guy was actually not using minoxidil into his hair loss treatment regimen. We know that from one of the studies from Dr. Durad, microneedling in addition to minoxidil can actually promote up to 4 times more hair when just microneedling alone. So it's kind of puzzling to see that this guy is not using minoxidil, because I would assume that he would see a lot more growth if you were to incorporate microneedling and minoxidil into his treatment. But he does use a Derma pen once a week, and he spends about 2 to 3 minutes over the hairline at a length of 1 millimeter. He says that he did try using 1.5, but he bled way too much and just sticks with 1 millimeter, which only produces pinpoint bleeding. As far as dutasteride, he's been taking 0.5 milligrams 3 times a week, and he claims that he actually has no side effects. So solid results, and hopefully he's going to be able to continue to maintain his gains. Now, this last example that I'm going to be sharing with you guys was found on Hair Loss Talk forum, and he goes by username Chen. These are some of his before treatment photos, and you can see that he is suffering from pretty heavy hair loss situated to the hairline and mid-scalp. A lot of the hair has been lost at this point, so this guy started a microneedling regimen that I have actually never heard of before. So check this out. He derma rolls at 1 millimeter twice a day for 5 minutes each session, and then applies minoxidil twice a day right after microneedling. He also started taking finasteride in the last year, but importantly, he does mention that he was able to regrow hair without it, and he simply takes finasteride because he knows that it actually inhibits THD. He also does scalp massages for a few minutes throughout the day. Now, the crazy thing about Chen is that when it comes to the general consensus for microneedling, it's that we should use it only once a week at a needle length of 1.5 millimeters. But here's this guy at 2 years of consistent treatment with incredible results from microneedling, where he's actually literally doing it 14 times a week, twice every day. He was able to regain a lot of his hair back, especially the temples and hairline, and it just looks amazing. I think the biggest question when it comes to microneedling is optimal frequency as well as needle length, and from examples like this person, we can even suspect that needling every day at least doesn't seem to hinder regrowth as many people have claimed. So Chen's example also seems to reinforce that regrowth with microneedling and minoxidil, and even with other treatments, can still happen even after years and years of hair loss. And I feel like more research needs to be done, and people should experiment with frequency if they are actually not seeing any results. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video, guys. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to share your microneedling results, please email me at hairliciously@gmail.com, and I can share your results with them in my next video. For those who also want to get started into microneedling, I have a lot of videos on my channel, so please make sure to check that out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Take care.